What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at Frankie Lampard, the 87 English centre mid. He was available in the Max 87 Icon upgrade, and I thought, let's give him a try. It's 210,000 coins at the moment, 3-star, 4-star with controlled lengthy, and he is a high medium on the work rates. Can be centre mid, CDM or cam in your positioning, and in terms of playstyle plus, he does have a little power shot, which is interesting. Dead ball specialist, tiki-taka, pinged pass, incisive pass, press proven, and also Travella on the playstyles. Power shot plus, in terms of a midfield, I've never really found too much use for it in terms of where I'd personally play him, but it could be useful for many different positions if you want him in a cam sort of role. Maybe someone who does drop back a little bit but is predominantly focused on the attack. Then yes, it's going to be very useful for outside the box. But again, it depends on if you are getting to a point where he is almost open in space, because if I'm having him outside the box, it means my strikers are in front of him, and then also so are defenders. So it's going to be very difficult to get that shot off without necessarily hitting anybody. But the power shot is always a nice one regardless. In terms of pace, definitely needs the upgrade. Decent amount of shooting at 88, never going to complain there. Great passing. Dribbling wise, agility balance is a little bit lower, but it depends again on where you want him. If you are looking more attacking, I think the engine could be the shout, but predominantly a lot of people are going to go for that shadow. With that chem style, you will keep him controlled lengthy. I'm pretty sure he was standard to that. It'd end up with 85 pace, 78 defended, and then he already has a little bit of physicality. If you went with an engine, you'd end up, again, same acceleration type. You'd end up with 81 pace, 91 passing, and then a 74-79 agility balance split. Could be worth it, but again, I would probably go all out pace for him. He is that sort of card that definitely needs that boost, and hopefully with an upgrade, the campaign or whatever version it's going to be, Lampard, could be a nice shout with that attacking option. So let's jump into the game and see what we can do with him. FC24 is here, and Sky Coach has all your needs covered. From squad battles, champs, qualifications, and even now draft boosting, there is a long list of services they do give, as well as coaching, and also the big one everybody wants in FC24 coins. This service is fast and reliable, and you will get your coins, your boosting services, or obviously coaching in a matter of hours. If you do want to get any of these, make sure you head over to skycoach.gg, go onto the website, and when you go to checkout, make sure that you are using the code JT11 at checkout for your 5% off your orders. And if you'd prefer to do this on mobile, check out the screen right now with the QR code for their mobile app. Let's get him on the ball then. Let's see, already winning a foul. That is a 0.1 for Lampard. What we got for dribbling wise? We seem semi kind of responsive, not necessarily the greatest agility player. That is kind of a standard of what we knew. Passing wise should be excellent. I think that is a given with Lampard. I do think with Lampard, Scholes and Gerrard, passing normally is a kind of front foot with him, and naturally positioning should again be in the topper category. I just think 210 for him might be a little bit expensive in comparison to what we've seen in midfielders, because naturally I think he's one of the lower icons that we normally have. Again, not having the base or the mid could be the shout that kind of puts him up a little bit more. And we do have the dead ball specialist. What does that mean for him? 94 power, 85 free kick, 86 curve. It's not quite KDB, a little bit more on the accuracy, which is always nice. Can we get a little bit of a whip on this one? Finding the edges. Varane's going to go for the header, but that's a bit far out. Once you move the keeper, it's very, very hard to get that in. This could be the moment, though. Could we find him in here? Turn it. That's where we want it. See, that the power shot plus is useful, and most definitely on strikers, it is a cracking one to have. But on terms of midfielders, I don't find myself with that much space for them, because naturally, I'm having it in this position, so if I don't turn with KDB there, good interception. Can we get the little link off? Okay, it's not quite there, but I'm not necessarily overexerting them too much, because that's going to be the wingers, the midfielders role. I'm not necessarily going all out for them, as he just tries the offside trap. Is Diaby still onside there? Dembele, little side step, and he brings it back. Ooh, he's going to see the ball out a little bit. I think in terms of formation as well, he's kind of got that almost box-to-box sort of role without necessarily having the greatest sort of pace. Ooh, that's a bad challenge. But I do think in terms of kind of what formation I'd like for him, oh, see, this would be a perfect role to have him there. We would really want him on that bit here. Can we get a left foot power shot? I don't know if that's going to be possible, but this is going to be where it's at. Little bit from there. If the keeper is moved, then obviously that's going to be a beautiful shot that you can go. Already getting back on the defense, which is perfect as well. I think in terms of a player, he's definitely quite surprising in movement, which is nice. Good agility, balance, kind of from what it seems in game. In kind of just normal stats, I wouldn't say he's going to be that impressive. We look forward there. Try and hold that run nicely. Get the free kick. There he is. Little tap to the side. Is that a Megs? Lampard with a goal. We got a red card, but it doesn't matter. In terms of where else I'd put him, a Cam would work. I think a Cam would definitely work in more of a holding Cam rather than necessarily your normal kind of Bruno, Bernardo, someone like that. He's not quite that sort of tricky player. He is designed more for the passing, if anything. Good interception as well. Having that defensive duty on him is perfect. Wouldn't necessarily say KDB is going to be the #1 shout for a partner with him. Just they're both very similar players. They're not necessarily defensive minded, but have that ability like we see there to get an interception. But in terms of kind of the outplay, some nice speed from him. To say that that's just a shadow asking onto him. He's won a couple of fouls, which is nice. But I wouldn't say, I'd say you kind of want someone in terms of goal, like a Tonali with him. I know I use Tonali in pretty much every example of a CDM, and you can kind of guess that I do like his sort of positioning. That's what we want right there. Can we go with... Okay, that's a bit too much. Madison coming across, and that's going to be the big problem is having... He's offside, surely. Good little turn. Little ball roll. Keeps himself out of position. Like I said, in terms of play, he's absolutely brilliant at holding the ball. I know pressing is not necessarily the easiest thing nowadays, so if you just... kind of just wonder with the ball a little bit, you can kind of keep it. It's my passing that gives the ball away more than anything. Lampard looking for a bit of a push there, try and get back. Second man press is going to be very useful. Gives him that option. He's going to try and go back to him, surely. Okay, maybe not. And there's Lampard. Oh, that, as I say, there was Lampard for the run. Again, first half, pretty good. Seems to be always available in this mid as well. That's always nice. We've seen plenty of players, strikers, wingers, all kinds of players that just seem to go missing when you really kind of could do with them the most. And it's always important to have that player that has that position and ability. I don't know if there is a chem style for it or a trait that kind of puts that in, but some players genuinely just absolutely are non-existent when it comes to that open play, and you can already tell from game one from them, because naturally you'll be able to see him. We see Lampard here straight away. We've got Bellingham into Lampard into the attack, and we can push forward. Again, whether you can kind of manipulate that as well as you can is the kind of next question, really. Lampard with the out again. Ooh, good quick pass. Little turn back around, find him back on it. We've got a bit of wing play if we can. A few step overs, which he most definitely wasn't used to in his career as he puts Son in. Little dink. Lampard looking for the seconds, but doesn't manage to. Nice play again as we go on the counter again. Virgil, beautiful. Oh, Lampard's coming back now for a little bit of something. Watkins is going to go through him. Look for that. Oh, why on earth is no, he's nowhere going to chip it from there. I don't know what happened to the angle of that. He kind of just had to turn a little bit before making the move. Physicality-wise is just non-existent for him, bless him. Which is natural. I don't think Lampard was ever really the body physical type. And that's a great little bit of play. Gets it back in. Have we got enough time with this red card to come back? But maybe we see this guy doing this, which is fantastic. Great ball from Lampard. Finds another. It's straight down a wing on the other end. That's a wonderful challenge. You can't disagree with a good challenge like that. So going into the overall form then, it's coming in 200. It's about 210 when I was selling mine. In terms of kind of what we've got then. Pace-wise, it's nice with the Shadow. I think Shadow's got to be the movement for him in terms of getting that defensive ability back, as well as then a bit more pace. The engine's fantastic for a little bit more agility balance, but I think that's fine anyway. Even with 74, 79 added to the top of it, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. He's still only a 3-star skiller, but that is kind of what we got to work with. But the pace is going to be more of a benefit than it is going to be with the agility balance. Plus then we get the defensive ability, because with an engine, you'd end up with more passing. His passing's absolutely fine. 91 on the short, 90 on the long. You can deal with that. When it comes to the vision, we get enough. Same with the curve. Crossing we don't need with him. Free kicks, again, if you've got another free kick taker, you don't need that very high either. Shooting wise, great ability as well. Shot power's nice, finishing's nice, long shot's nice. We've got the power shot plus, so utilize that as you personally can. If you find an opening, give it a go. Power shot plus is immensely quick when it comes to actually winding up, and that's what makes it so good. Yes, a lot of people will cotton on to who's got it, when you're able to do it, and also where to block it in a kind of angle. So if somebody's not in front of you, but maybe they could push instead a bit further behind, then say block the goal bit that you're going to, then that is what they're going to be able to do, especially in them high levels. But I find in the midfield, you don't get that much room to breathe. Maybe you get a drop from a corner that's worth a shot, and sometimes you can get the lucky block. And I'm not teaching you here to go for the lucky block, because that is most definitely just a little bit of cheese. You won't get that every single time. In terms of physicality, definitely gets overrun quite a lot at times, which is the problem with him, but I do think he holds his own as well in certain areas. When it comes to the dribbling and kind of finding that passing option, very good. Toe-to-toe on a tackle, it's kind of a 50-50. There's no real kind of defensive ability from him. Even with the shadow, it's a very bog standard defending, and that's going to be the issue of what you want from a midfielder. Do you want the more shot power, you want more attacking from him, or do you want the bit of both? I think he works really well kind of like as a KDB. So if we put De Bruyne in and just see the difference between them, we'll go with his normal one rather than the flashback. Price wise, an icon, you can't really add the price to him. It was to go shadow with both of them, because I think KDB does need some pace as well. If we look at both of them, so pace wise, Lampard wins. Shooting wise is the same. Passing's going to be more on the KDB side, same as the dribbling. Then defending goes into Lampard and physicality goes into Lampard. The main difference, we've got a 4-star, 5-star. That's going to be absolutely huge in KDB's favour. Plus then the total in-game stats goes to KDB. That is kind of what we're looking at in terms of what sort of player we're getting here. Composure wise is just 1 as well, so it's something we can't actually change. And as we can see, the defensive side of it, it depends on what you want. If I was looking at him as a normal card and think, okay, what midfielders would link well with him? We want either, if we're going for a solid 2 midfielder line in a 4-4-2, for instance, a DM, Lampard. Is not necessarily going to be the full cam, but he'll definitely be a guy that goes forward, and your DM, like for instance a Tonali, an Essien, a Makalele, a Xabi Alonso potentially, would sit behind him. I would kind of go with someone a bit more pacey. For instance, a very good option there would be Llorente. Incredible pace for a centre mid, plus can add some defensive ability with him. But I wouldn't necessarily go someone as similar. So him and KDB together, they almost cancel each other out. There's no DM there. There's nobody with an above 80 defending in that partnership. So I find you're going to get overrun in that midfield if he's got, say, a very good cam. He's got a very good midfielder. If he's got somebody as attacking, then you're going to be battling back and forth of the attacking CDMs. It isn't going to work. You whack a Tonali next to him, you whack someone like in a cam and a CDM role, he's going to play perfectly there. Even if you went with a 4-2-2, I wouldn't say it's his best position. I wouldn't say a left or right cam's going to suit him massively unless he is giving the options constantly. If he's not necessarily going down the wing, if he's not a Diaby or a Dembele, he is definitely someone who's going to be passing forward rather than necessarily dribbling forward. That is not the kind of Lampard role. Same with Gerrard, same with Scholes. They are not dribbling centre mids. It just never works like that for them. They are very much on their passing game and getting them long shots just whenever they can. I do think he's a nice card. I wouldn't say he's 210k personally. I'd be looking more towards the 100 to 130 in terms of what icons are at the moment, but most definitely could sit in a team if you really needed to. If you've got him out of the SBC, he's not the worst by quite a lot. In terms of the 87s now, I don't even know what prices we're looking at. By the looks of it, I don't think he dropped massively, to be fair. So it might be that it didn't necessarily completely blitz the prices. We have got, how much is Torres? Because I know what he was. So Torres has actually gone up, which is fair enough. Essien stayed the same. Makalele's there. Zola's actually gone up a little bit. Petit, if we go a bit further down, 285 for Cole. I think he's pretty much there. Lampard's technically up as well. So it looks like not many people moved. Trezeguet, Russian, and Kluivert definitely went down. Same as Larson. And I want to say Keane was about that anyway. So it could be time of day. It doesn't look like that had a massive effect. But you could have got any of these icons prior to Lampard. So I think he's not a necessarily bad shout. But let me know down below if you did manage to get him. If you did, are you happy? Let me know. Make sure you like and subscribe on this. And I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.